Hey, this is Brad, and welcome back to my dojo, also known as the back bay of my garage. I'm going to give you a quick tour of my bow tuning station and setup. It's a very simple setup here, but it works really well. I don't have a lot of space, and you don't really even need a lot of space to have your own bow tuning setup, but I'm just going to show you mine, and hopefully you might find it interesting. And if not, that's okay too. So come on in, let's take a look. So this is a Harbor Freight tool chest. This is probably the best purchase I've made just for my garage gear organization in a long time, but I really like it. I bought it for my bow tuning setup specifically because I could mount my bow press to the top of this thing, and I'm really glad I did. I've used this thing a bunch, and it's really nice because it's on wheels, so I can move it around if I need to, but for the most part, it just stays right here. And I like having the tool chest the way it is oriented right here. I've got a workbench over here with my bow vise, so I have kind of a nice easy flow if I need to go from the bow press to the bow vise. I could, probably have put the bow vise on the tool chest here, but I didn't want to clutter up my workspace here because I like to occasionally have stuff on the hard surface here if I'm working on a bow, putting a new set of strings on, or just kind of have a few different tools up here on the top here. So anyways, the other thing I'd say, just in terms of setup, is I've got these hooks kind of right above my bow tuning station here, which is really handy. This is where I keep my bows. I shoot a lot in my backyard as well as just across the street from my house. And so this is a handy place to keep my bows when I want to grab one, go shoot. I have my arrows kind of set up on the side here. So it's just quick, easy, convenient. If I have 5 minutes to go shoot a few arrows, I can just grab my bow, grab a release, go shoot, and get my shots in for the day. So yeah, that's kind of the overview of just the feng shui of the workspace. So let me show you what I keep in each of these drawers. So top drawer. This is where I keep the tools that I'm going to be using and needing as I'm working on bows. So the things that I want quick access to. So I keep all of my Allen wrenches and torque wrenches here in the top. I've got a bow square, speed level, string level. I've got a couple of different needle nose, sets of needle nose pliers, tape measure, arrow spinner, levels, a few other random levels in here as well. But everything I really need is on top here. I've also got some lighters. So everything I pretty much need to work on a bow is right here, and it's organized and just convenient to access. And that way, I like having on this little drawer right here. I don't have to put everything out on the tabletop space here, so I try and keep this clean when I'm working on a bow, and I can just pull this out, bring out what I need, put it back in, and that way I've got space and it's not cluttered, and it just helps me from keep things kind of organized when I am working on a bow. So other things I keep in these drawers, I have a whole drawer just dedicated to arrows and arrow fletching. So I've got wraps, vanes, glue, nocks, extra nocks, epoxy for putting on outsert inserts on my day 6 arrows, Scotch pad for scuffing up the ends of the arrows before I epoxy them. That's all in here. I also keep, I have some denatured alcohol that I keep up there for cleaning the ends of my carbon shafts before I glue them on, but don't keep that down here. In this drawer right here, I keep all of my D-loop material. I've got string wax, extra strings, all that stuff, just all the string materials kind of live in this drawer. I've also got an extra sight or parts of sights here because I kind of play around with parts and pieces of swapping out sights for my bows sometimes. So got a few extra screws for my sights, some limb components, extra peeps. That's all in this drawer right here. And I like to keep a handful of extra peeps on hand, different size serving string, so I can mess around if I need to replace my serving, and I also have different options for thicknesses on my serving string as well. So that's all in here. And this drawer, is one of my favorite drawers, because this is where I keep all of my broadheads. So I like to have, I've got all my day 6 broadheads in here. I have 3 hard travel cases, and so when I'm traveling to hunt somewhere, I can come in here, grab some broadheads, and go. And then of course I keep my practice broadheads in here as well. So this is broadheads. I also keep, this is just 3/32 reflective orange paracord. I sometimes use this for my D-loop for my bows, because it's a high-vis material. It's not made for D-loop material, but it actually is the right, it's the right width, and it works really well as D-loop material as well. So I keep some of that there if in case I want to put an orange D-loop on a bow. I also have like extra blades for my day 6 broadheads in there as well. And then the last drawer for archery equipment that I have here, this is sort of the odds and ends drawer. So I keep field points in here. I've got releases, sight tapes, a few extra pieces for my sight in here, as well as some components for my, my quivers over here in here as well. So like screws and whatnot to attach those to bows in here as well. 2 last things I want to show you about. So I've got bow tuning station right here. I also keep this is a really simple, I did not make this up. This is my paper tuning setup right here. So this is just PVC pipe. I've obviously got some butcher paper and some pieces that go between here that I use for paper tuning. And what I like to do is I have these overhead ceiling mount shelving systems set up in my garage, which we can show you, but I will hang a bag target from that, set up this target, or excuse me, my paper tuning setup right in front of the target, and I will paper tune in my garage, which is really handy. Only do that if you feel comfortable shooting and not missing your target. Don't blame me if you put an arrow through a wall. Safety first or third, whatever you prefer. I also keep a crane scale right here for just checking the poundage on my bow, and if I need to adjust it or make sure that my bow is in spec, use this handy little crane scale, which I got off of Amazon, and I hang from this shelving right here. These are, I think Flexi Mounts makes these overhead shelving. I really like them. They're strong and durable, and if you mount them properly, you can put a lot of force and torque on them. So between those 2 things, the paper tuning station, or paper tuning setup, hanging a bag target off of this, I can really do pretty much everything I need to for a bow, like right in this, right in my garage. So I hope that was helpful, interesting, and thanks for coming into my dojo. I feel like we've spent some time together in my private space right here. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments of this video.